Naomi said to them, each of you go back to your mother's home. May the Lord show kindness to you as you have shown to the dead, and to me. May the Lord grant each of you rest in the house of a new husband. She kissed them, and they wept loudly. Oops. They said to her, we insist on returning with you to your people. But Naomi replied, return home, my daughters. Why do you want to go with me? Am I able to have any more sons? I could become your husbands. Return home, my daughters. Go. Go on, for I am too old to have another husband. Even if I thought there was still hope for me to have a husband tonight, to be a son. To be a son, would you be willing to wait for them to grow up? Would you restrain yourself from remarrying? No, my daughter, my life is so much better for you to share, because the Lord's hand has turned against me again. They wept loudly, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clung to her. Naomi said, look, your sister-in-law has gone back to her people and to her God. Follow your sister-in-law. But Ruth replied.
Naomi, Ruth, and Orpah. Naomi, so here's the story. You have Naomi, she lost everything. Her husband, her sons. Now she's left with two daughter-in-law, Orpah and Ruth. Well, we can see that they both cried. They both insisted on staying with her. They both wept. But at one point, when Naomi insisted on them leaving her and them going back to finding a new life, after they both cried, both insisted, both wept to stay with Naomi, one actually was not as determined to stay than the other. Orpah kissed her goodbye and left, while Ruth clung to Naomi and remained, and she stayed. See, at one point, that's when you see the true determination, and really when you really mean what you're saying, because emotion are illusions. So, how much convincing one need to destroy one conviction? I have no idea what I mean by that. What do I mean by that? How much convincing one needs to destroy one conviction? It kind of makes sense, but okay, anyway. So you see the difference between word and action, between talk and walk, between emotion versus action. Walk the talk. You can weep, you can cry, you can insist, you can talk, yes, I will do it. Who did it? Who went all the way? Ruth, not Orpah. So I guess what I mean by that might be Naomi was more convinced than Orpah, because after trying to get rid of her, because sometimes the devil kind of pushes and pushes and pushes. You really want it, or even that, because it does say the violent can take over the kingdom or something. So you have to be insisting, but like the persistent widow or the Greek woman, who responded to Jesus. I'll be okay with the crumbles, And God tests I think God tests our determination every now and then. After we've cried, after we've done the religious thing, He might test us in how far can we go, how far do we really want it. Both were sincere, but one was more sincere than the other. Both were sincere, but I guess one was more willing of paying the price, maybe.